Help for the homeless, the Woodland Art Fair, and back to school. This and more up next on this week's edition of Lexington Now. I'm Neil Noah, and this is Lexington Now. It's been said that the measure of any great society is how it treats its most unfortunate members, and Lexington takes this to heart through its initiatives to help just those people. This last week, 2 new programs were launched to help the homeless get back on their feet. Polly Ruddock explains.
You need to take care of your most vulnerable in order to be a great city. We're always ranked in the top 10 or top 5 for greatest places to live and best places to raise a family and low violence. And I think that just goes to show that this city understands, yes, you can build a great convention center, but you also need to have great social services and a well-oiled homeless system that can take care of folks. So meeting people where they are is big for us because you may not know where the services are. You may be too ashamed and embarrassed to go ask for those services. I get a lot of phone calls from my office that, they start off kind of timid and they really don't want to tell me and they really don't want to talk about, they're embarrassed. I lost my job. We're living in the car with my family and my kids. We find that quite often. They don't want to tell the school system that they're living in the car. They're scared. So to be able to send folks out to them, to meet them in their car, to reassure them it's all going to be okay and we have resources for you, that's huge for this city, and we do that every single day. We do a needs assessment in our community all the time, but pretty seriously about every 5 years. And since the beginning of the time that we've been doing those, transportation and identification are always the top 2 barriers for housing. Securing housing, maintaining housing. If you think in the community how many times you use your ID to access anything, you show it to your doctor, you show it to get in buildings, you show it to get rental, do housing applications for rental property. So when you don't have an ID, you can't access any of that. So last week we launched a new program, a homeless ID assistance program. We developed a letter, and so now any individual that is currently homeless in Fayette County that is staying in one of our shelters or transitional housing programs can take that letter, get that from their caseworker, and go down and not have to worry about coming up with the finances or honestly looking any different when you're standing there to get an ID. So number 1 on any needs assessment is transportation. You and I can get in our cars at any time. We can go look for jobs, we can go look for apartments, we can go to our doctor's appointments. When you do not have transportation and you have no access to get that transportation, you can't do any of that. We started a partnership with Lextran. We prepay for a tap card for Lextran, and then that is issued out of my office, and that gives you access to any Lextran routes, buses, anytime. You can go anywhere in the city for 365 days. So one thing we didn't want to do is limit it to 30 days or 60 days. It takes that long to even start finding and securing housing or employment. In order to access this pass, you have to develop a housing plan. Where do you want to live? What area of Lexington? What are your barriers to securing housing? It's about an 8-page plan. Once we approve that plan, we issue a card. The easiest thing that people can do is call 211 or text their zip code to 211, and they can have a text conversation if they don't have minutes on their phone, which we have quite frequently. You can text, find a hotspot, text 211. They have access to a plethora of resources. They can take care of a lot of needs: food, shelter, assistance, child care assistance. They have access to all of that. The other thing they can do, and I always say, feel free to call my office, 258-3105, especially when it comes to housing or very difficult cases, or if you have a friend of a friend who's really embarrassed and doesn't want anybody to know, feel free to call. It's confidential. We don't share your information around, but we'll give you as many resources as we can.
Lexington's art scene is closing out the summer season with one of its most popular events, the Woodland Art Fair. Here's more.
The Woodland Art Fair, it happens every third week in August. This year it's going to be the 18th and 19th. It's where over 200 artists are set up in the park all weekend long to sell whatever they have. There's a great mix of jewelry, sculpture, paintings, photography. There's always music and or live music and food trucks. And this year we have 8 local breweries and 2 wineries joining us this year. So it's just a big family fun festival for everyone. And so it's the entire Woodland area, all in the grass. So the live entertainment will be on the gazebo. And then we'll also have live acoustical music going on throughout the park, and it goes all the way up to the tennis courts on the other side. Saturday it's going to be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then Sundays will be 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So parking, as you know, around Woodland Park is kind of tricky, and to add to the complications, it's also UK moving in weekend. So for our patrons' convenience and anybody that just wants to come, we have a shuttle service. It's free. It actually will drop you off right at the park. There are 3 convenient parking lots that you can park in. The Phoenix lot, which is across from the Transit Center under MLK Bridge, and then the Harold Leader lot is also free. There you can also park at the High Street lot by the Transit Center. It's going to cost you some money, but there's tons of parking there. So if you check the other 2 and they're all full, you can definitely find a spot in the lot, and they pick up at all 3 of those lots. And then they drop you off here and they'll pick you up here, and they will run at least 30 minutes after the show each night to make sure everybody can get back to their cars. It's going to be the same old great fairs every year. We try to do a good mix of music, food, and art, all at the same high quality. It'll be a great event. We also do want to give thanks to our maintenance division. We cannot do this without them. They have been working since early last week to get the park ready. They've been landscaping and mulching, and getting the entire park ready for an all-at-once event is a big, giant undertaking. And we have about 6 maintenance crew that work all weekend to pull trash and tidy up. And then we also have 2 electricians and about 10 park staff that work all weekend as well to make sure everything goes smoothly. The Lexington Art League has a website with a bunch of good information about the fair, because they're our partner through this. It's going to be lexingtonartleague.org, I believe. You can call Sarah, at 288-2925.
It's back to school time, and we'll tell you how to help ease the transition after the break.
I'm Sergeant Randall Combs with the Lexington Police Traffic Unit. Accessible parking is a valuable and necessary resource for people with disabilities, and that includes the striped area next to accessible parking spots. These are access aisles, and it is illegal to park here, even if you have an accessible parking permit.
Access aisles are necessary for me to get into my vehicle. They are there because many of us need that space to use our ramps or to transfer into a wheelchair. It's frustrating when a car is parked in the access aisle because I don't have room to get into my van.
Police and Lex Park are writing tickets when they see vehicles parked in an access aisle, and the fine is $250. Know where and where not to park. Keep the access aisles clear. Thank you and drive safe.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Fayette County schools are back in session this week, and that always translates to increased traffic, especially near schools. Here's how you can help make it a safe transition.
If you're out driving and if you see a group of kids and then you see a school bus, you should be prepared to get ready to stop.
That's the advice Marcus Dobbs, in charge of transportation for Fayette County schools, has for motorists, especially at the start of a new school year.
A lot of times what will happen at the beginning of the school year is oftentimes we'll get calls from parents saying, hey, you've got this bus stop here and it's making me late for work. Well, you know, when school was not in during the summer, we had no bus stops. Now the students are back out to catch the bus, and we sometimes have to suggest to people, maybe you may want to leave 5 minutes earlier so then you pass by that area and you don't end up running into the bus.
Mr. Dobbs cautions drivers to be extra careful in these areas because
there's a procedure that the drivers actually follow, and when they're approaching a stop, they'll hit a button that activates those yellow lights. When they see those yellow lights, they want to treat it, they should treat it just like you do a traffic light out. You know, when you see the traffic light change to yellow, you don't eventually say, oh, well, let me speed up. You're supposed to prepare to stop, because although we do tell our students that they should wait until the stop arm comes out, it's easier for us to train the younger students than it is the much older students, because the high school students, they start thinking, well, I know everything what's going on, and so what they'll do as soon as that yellow light comes out, sometimes they just start walking right across the street.
He tells us that anytime you see a school bus and its flashing lights,
it's very important that whenever they see the stop arm out, that they stop, because you got to keep in mind we are always transporting most precious cargo, which is students. So whenever that stop arm is out, please wait until the students have crossed and that stop arm is back in before you proceed on.
And while it may seem straightforward what to do on a 2-lane road, rules on 4-lane or divided roads are different.
If we're traveling on Harrisburg Road, where you have 2 lanes going in one direction, 2 lanes going in the other direction, whichever direction the bus is traveling in, when that stop arm comes out, only those individuals that are traveling in the same direction of the bus has to stop in an instance, because then you've got 4 lanes, so then if you've got 2 or more lanes traveling in the same direction, only those individuals have to stop.
Mr. Dobbs has a little advice for school zones.
Naturally around schools, we have those flashing warning signs. They'll say school zone 25 miles per hour. The school zone is, speed limit is reduced in school zones, and people should just be really careful about, because students are walking along the sidewalks and they're really supposed to wait till they get to where there's a cross guard to cross at a crosswalk. But I'm sure we know students don't always do what they're supposed to do, and so sometimes they'll just run out in the middle of the street.
And although it may be tempting to try to save some time on the road, Mr. Dobbs cautions.
Please just make sure when you see that stop arm out, though, that you do stop, because what our drivers will do is, if they can grab your tag number, then we fill out a form, and unfortunately what happens is then we turn that over to the county attorney's office for prosecution. That can result in a fine and 6 points on your license if you pass a stopped school bus when that stop arm is out. So please don't pass a stopped school bus when that stop arm is out.
The annual Kentucky River Clean Sweep is this weekend, and you can help out with one of Central Kentucky's most popular cleanup programs.
I'm Jennifer Myatt with Lexington's Division of Environmental Services, and today I am out near the Kentucky River, which you can't see behind me because it is raining, to talk about the upcoming Kentucky River Clean Sweep on August 18th. If you've been following us on Lex TV, you know that the river sweep was supposed to be in June, but we had to reschedule due to high water. And you're probably looking at all the rain around me and wondering if we'll have to reschedule again. But the river conditions are fine. It was just that in June we'd had so much rain in the spring that the river was too high and too fast. But the river will be totally fine on August 18th for the upcoming river sweep. If you're interested in coming to this year's river sweep, it's at the same location where it always is, which is under the 75 bridge at the Clays Ferry boat dock. And you can use 9079 Old Richmond Road on GPS to guide you here. It's August 18th, and we will start getting people in boats from 8:30 in the morning until 10 a.m. So please arrive by then so that we make sure you have enough time to go out and clean up litter from the river before lunchtime. So our volunteers that day, we ask that you make sure to wear clothes that can get wet and dirty, dress for the weather, have bug spray and sunscreen if you feel like you need it, and we will send you out on boats and canoes in the river to clean up litter and trash from our waterways. It's especially important for us to keep the Kentucky River clean because it is the main body of water that runs through the south of Lexington, and so many people use it for boating and fishing and other recreational activities. It also is where we get our drinking water as Lexingtonians. So it's important that we keep it clean for us and for all the little critters that live in the river. If you're interested in bringing your own boat to the river sweep, you can do that as well. And as usual, we would prefer that you sign up in advance so that we know you're coming at riversweep2018.eventbrite.com.
Also this weekend, Parks and Recreation is hosting the Bluegrass Archery Tournament at Heisel Park. Kenneth Black fills us in.
My name is Kenneth Black. I'm the Outdoor Adventure Programming Supervisor here for Fayette County Parks and Recreation. What I do is anything outdoor recreationally activity-wise that you would like to do. I do archery, I do canoeing, I do paintball, I do scuba diving, we do rock climbing, we do skills classes, overnight camping. Anything you want to do outdoors, get kind of out and away from the city, that's what I do, that's my job and what I try to provide for the people here at Lexington. So we're out here today at the Heisel Farm Park Archery Range. We're getting ready to move into hunting season, bow hunting season especially. A lot of people come out to use our range here to try to get their bows sighted in, get everything weighted and tested, and that's what we like to provide the facility for. We do come out here and upgrade and change our targets pretty regular, so that's what we're fixing to do here in the next couple of weeks is upgrade our targets, get everything polished back up from the regular shooting season, get ready for hunting season, which is our main volume. People are welcome to come out here. Gates open at sunrise. You're welcome to shoot from sunrise to sundown when we lock the gates back again. A couple things to note for our archery range. We do not permit the use of broadheads. So if you are going to shoot broadheads, we do ask that you bring your own target. Second thing is crossbows. Most of the targets we place up out here are not weighted for the velocity and impact that crossbows provide. So if you can, shoot your own targets for crossbows and broadheads, that will make maintaining these targets quite a bit easier on us. If you're interested in getting started in archery and you just, maybe you've done it a couple times, you just picked up your own bow, got a bow for Christmas and you want to learn, we do offer a program out here that's called Sunrise Archery. It's once a month here at the Heisel Park Archery Range. I'm out here from usually about 10 o'clock in the morning till 1. We offer open instruction, so you bring out your bows, your arrow, and your equipment. I'll spend time teaching you, how to get your bow tuned up, how to draw, how to shoot, and the general functions for good basic introduction to shooting so that you can begin progressing on the hobby on your own space. So on the 18th of this month, we have our annual Bluegrass Archery Tournament. It's just a fun competition shoot that's not necessarily following the NASP or USA Archery rules. It is just a recreational shoot. We have different age groups, different age brackets for standard shoots, long distance, and single shots. We have the targets that are behind me here are 48-inch round diameter targets that we will be shooting on. The distances will vary depending on age group from 15 meters up to 25 meters. So if you want to get involved with the archery tournament and participate, it is a $5 entry fee per competition that you wish to shoot. You can get registered online through our website at lexingtonky.gov/parks. If you put in the search bar Bluegrass Archery Tournament, it'll pop right up for you. You can register on the website there, or you can call us at McConnell Springs Park at 859-225-4073 and register over the phone through there.
The council is back from summer break and we're hitting the ground running with our televised meeting schedule this week. Beginning on Tuesday with the General Government and Social Services Committee meeting, followed by council work session and a council of the whole meeting. On Wednesday, we have the Urban County Arts Review Board meeting, and on Thursday, there is a confirmation hearing followed by the council meeting. These meetings will be live on Channel 185 and on our live stream. And you can find any televised meeting archived at lexingtonky.gov/LexTV or find our other programming here or on YouTube channel LexTV. That's all for this week. Keep up with us on social media and check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For the staff and producers at LexTV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.